Hi, this is Danny Marrow here, and I'm going to share with you some thoughts about Islam. And I'm going to start with the word Allah, which is A-L-L-A-H. This name is actually a pagan moon god. This name Allah has been researched by some outstanding archaeologists and others, and in its originality, Allah was the name of a demonic moon god in the tribal group well before Muhammad was even born. And Muhammad originally, the false prophet, received his revelations. He himself considered and thought that these revelations were from demons. His friends and associates and fellow partners in crime, they thought it would be good to use the word Allah as the sole tribal god into a new religion. And this way he could emotionally energize the masses and towards political and geographical conquest. Before Muhammad was born, the name of the demonic moon god, Allah, one running 7 times around the temple of the moon god called the Kaaba, K-A-B-A-H, or Kaaba. 2, stones were thrown at the devil. 3, a crescent was a key religious symbol. 4, praying towards Mecca 5 times a day. 5, kissing the black stone. 6, killing an animal in sacrifice to the moon god. And 7, fasting for the month, which begins and ends with the crescent moon. But really, Allah is not the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The record from Islamic sources is very clear. There's nothing fuzzy about it. The sources are not celebrated these days by Islamic people for obvious reasons, but they have been considered accurate and authority for many, many hundreds of years. Allah Akbar means Allah Akbar, which at the Semitic root means God is without a son, or rendered more illustriously, God has no son. Muhammad, quote, said he would terrorize the infidels, so wound their bodies and incapacitate them because they oppose Allah and his apostle. That's a quotation from Quran 8 verse 12. To this day, a crescent moon can be found at the front of every mosque, acknowledging that Allah was and is the moon god. And finally, Islam is founded on the worship of a pre-Islamic pagan moon god. And he was elevated to be the one sovereign God by Muhammad's demonic visions. Mecca, they have a practice of circling around the Kuboid stone, C-U-B-O-I-D. And this is an exercise the energy needed to open a door in a spirit world. Islam is unwillingly opening evil doorways and inviting themselves to become possessed by satanic evil forces. Now I want to make something very clear. I'm not against the people of Islam. What I am against is the teaching of Islam. And when you look at this fact of history, and we're going to get much deeper, I have a whole series of audio videos I'm going to do about the moon god and the name Allah that was used before Muhammad was even born, and you're going to understand better. I'm against the teaching, even including Pentecostal, Assembly of God, Foursquare churches that think that they can raise the dead. They haven't, they can't, and they won't. And so this is what I'm saying about Islam. I'm going to point out the errors that are in Islam. I have nothing against the people of Islam, but I have a lot against the false teaching, lies, deceptions that are taught as factual, and in fact they're not. I have invited anyone, including Muslims, to come on my talk show program on Sunday nights at 7, which lasts 90 minutes. And we can discuss Islam and discuss whatever you want to discuss. But so far, only one Muslim has responded, and he was a former Muslim who is the head of an organization, Islam-Watch. And I've had Mr. Khan on my program twice. I'm going to have him again. But though no so-called American Muslim wants to come on and debate the subject with me, at least as of this date, and no international Muslim. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one thing to believe in a truth. It's another thing to believe in a lie. Look for the next audio video on the moon god and the name Allah that was used for the moon god years before the false prophet Muhammad was ever even born.